Hey guys, wait just a second. I'm gonna share this. Make sure that the sound is up and everything is going well. Let's see. Takes it a minute to come up. Let's see. Oh, got sound. Okay, I can see the comments. How are you guys doing today? Hope everybody is enjoying this gorgeous, gorgeous day. It is finally, it's 80 degrees out. I cannot even believe it. Susan was telling me that when we go to Long Beach, that it's supposed to be in the 70s to low 80s. So I got to do a wardrobe check and see what things they're gonna make it in or aren't, because 80 is pretty warm. It's cold in my basement, but outside it's like short weather. So, hello, Ramona. I have been busy working on the card class that we're sending out the first of the week, next week, before we leave. And we have, uh, we're sending out 4 cards for anyone who purchased anything with us up until this last week for $75 that you could order anything, and then we're going to just send this as a bonus. Thank you for your order. And so I'm going to show you one that I'm going to be sending out today. I'm going to go ahead and I thought I showed this to everyone, but I can't find a video of it. So I don't know if something went wrong with the video and I deleted it or what. But anyway, I'm going to show it again because I really like it. It was fun to make. So I'm going to flip the camera around. And, oh, let's see here if I think everything is going the right direction. And we're going to be working, the cards are from the Forever Florals dies and stamp set. And these fonts are just really beautiful. And they're really perfect size for thinking of you cards. I used a wedding card, used the Always and Forever for a wedding card. And I'm going to use the You're on My Mind in this card. And I'm also going to use these cute stamps. These are just some of they're very simple, but you can do a lot of fun things with them. And this die is just so many things you can do with it. They use these with the virtual card kit, and you actually got this set plus an additional set that was available for only the card class. It's not available anywhere else. So, but the cards that they did, there were a lot of great techniques. And that virtual card kit, it was like, it ran around 150, but you got a lot of things with it, and you got detailed, pretty detailed instructions, a supply list, and then there's videos on YouTube that you will be able to access if you still decide you want to purchase it. I haven't got all mine finished yet. It's kind of, oh, here, let me show you some of them. Let's see here. These were some, okay, so this is some that I've done on previous videos. I did that one. This is one that I did. This is all the stamps from that stamp set. This is one from the actual virtual card class, which you can't really see it super well, but there's some stitching in this. And this is a really cute one. And they have envelopes to go with everything. And so then they showed you how to embellish your envelopes as well. And so they had, this is kind of some of the instructions that they had. So they had a really nice picture, and then they have all the things that you need to complete the class. And then you can just kind of roll through the videos on YouTube. So it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. Sorry, I'm saying I'm a little stressed. We're getting ready to leave, and my I'm trying to get packed. I'm trying to get my cards made. I'm trying to get the card class done. This is the card we're going to make today. And this is with the party banner dies. Let's see, I have those right here. And this is a really cool, this is a, hey Susan, this is the party banner dies, and they're amazing. And you can see they're giant all the way down to very tiny. So I use the die in this one that fits a 4.5. Actually, you can make, I think you could make it a little bit bigger, and this would actually be half the card size, but I wanted to have a 4.25 by 5.5 piece of cardstock to be the base, so that's why I went with this one. And what I did, I actually just took a piece of card, half a sheet of cardstock, and then I folded it in half. And then what I did before I put it through the stamp and emboss machine is I just laid this top edge kind of right at the top of that. It was off. You want it off so that it doesn't cut this top piece, the top fold, and then you just run it through. So I've already done that for you. And now, and the funny thing is I did this a while ago, and so I couldn't exactly remember what colors I used, but I'm just going to go with it because I think it would be pretty either way. So what you're going to get in your kit, this is for those who ordered $75 from Susan or I, you're going to get this cut piece of this die cut sheet of paper. You're going to get your card, folded card, and your card base. And then you're going to get some ribbon. Oh, you're going to also get the tag for the centerpiece. Sorry, it's a little washed out. The sun is coming in the window, and I'm not going to complain. Sorry about that. My phone's going off. Okay, so what I decided to do is I'm going to make my base first. So I decided to go with some petal pink, and then I'm going to do a little strawberry slush stamped off, and then I'm going to go in with some Darling Duckling. So I'm just going to start, and I really want this stamped off a little bit. I think I got something on my stamp. See that little, I got some paper. I'm telling you, paper has been flying all over the place here. I've got, because when you cut out a bunch of these dies, you have all these little extra pieces, and they are everywhere. So I'm going to stamp off and then put this on the top. It won't matter where I did that in the whole scheme of the design. And I'm just going to kind of make a little bit of a what am I trying to say? An arch. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to go with that, and then I'm going to clean this off. And then I'm going to do strawberry slush. Jeff has been in meetings all day long. He literally stopped at his last meeting at 2:30, I think. So we just had our lunch. So I'm just going to stamp kind of on top of the orange, or the petal pink, because I like a little bit lighter strawberry slush. This can be a very intense color if you stamp straight. So now I'm going to wipe that off. And we're going to be using the stamp pads, and then we're also going to be using blends. And now I'm going to use some duckling. Now I love using yellow with pinks it just always blends so nice, and it looks like you know, it goes a little bit orange, and they just get all yummy. And like I said, there's not a whole lot of just gonna fill that in kind of like that. So you can see I've got my, maybe I don't know if I can show it like that. So anyway, I've got my base. That's my card base. And now what I'm going to do is I've got a sheet of this, and I've cut to this flower, and then I'm going to cut so that this is going up. And again, it's kind of an arch, and it's going to come down to right about here. I'm going to leave these two flowers on. This is a technique that was in that card class, actually. And I'm just going to cut that off, and then I'm going to go around each one of these. And I'm just kind of curving them, like that's a leaf, so I'm going to make it look like a leaf. This is a petal. This is a petal. And you know, sometimes you can't tell, so I just kind of make a decision. So there's a leaf. Here's a flower. Oh, I hear Jeff and Millie coming back in, so there may be a thump down the stairs. Boom, 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 boom. Here she comes. Hi, Millie. So I'm just going to go around here. Sorry, I didn't get this. I didn't have this one done, this part done, but it's kind of useful to see how where you kind of cut this and just make your own little flower. Because if you just cut it straight, it's going to keep this straight edge on it, and that's what I want it to be more organic than that. Again, this was a technique that we did on a couple of cards in that virtual card class that were really fun. And I love our paper snips. I think that the manufacturer went out of business, so hopefully we'll get some new ones. See here, and this one is going to go this way. 2 more cuts and we're done. Okay, so now I've got this pretty little like lacy embellishment to put on top of my card. Now you will see in some of these I didn't weed all of them because it would just take a really long time. Sometimes I leave the weeding in these, and the weeding is like the centers of the flowers, the things that actually poke out. But you can also take a you pick tool and just pop those babies out. And so I'm going to do that. A couple more over here. And this is a little fragile, so just kind of be careful when you're working with it. You can actually kind of like put it back together if it pops apart. So either way, just fair warning. Okay. So got my piece cut here, and then I'm going to take, now before I put this on, I'm going to actually color it with some of my blends. And I'm going to start out with all of the light colors. I think I'm going to start out with, just can't remember if I used dark petal. I think I used the light one. I'm going to start. You can always go dark, you know? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm just going to start and just put some colors down. I don't want them all to be the same, and so I'm just going to kind of pick a few here and there. This is a good example of how the colors can go together really nicely. All right, so I'm going to take my strawberry slush light, and I am going to start down here. It will lighten up just a tad bit. I couldn't remember if I used like like coral. You could also use calypso. Is that right? I can't remember. Brain freeze. Okay, so I'm going to just add a few little sparks of color. And then I'm going to take the Darling Duckling and light, fill in the rest of the flowers. And sometimes you kind of infer what are flowers and where you want a flower and what you want it to be. So, because I realize that doesn't look like much of a flower, but since there's a hole there, I'm going to say that it's back behind the other one. Because we're creating. And we can interpret it however we want to. So I've got now, so I have that, and now I'm going to take my light Lost Lagoon and I'm going to do all the stems. This is also fun because it's coloring, and I do love to color. It's a very relaxing thing, and you can use either end of the blend. You can use the bullet tip, but I find I really like the brush better. I don't know why. It just gives me, it's really inky, and so I can just pop that down really quick, and I like the way the ink flows out of the marker. When you're coloring with, like if you're coloring a image of some sort that is stamped, you want to make sure that you stamp it with Memento or some kind of water-based ink, because it will, if you use a StazOn, that is also alcohol ink, and so that will tend to smear it, and we don't want any smearing going on. And you can see I'm just going fast as I am going today in general. And I'll move my, you also want to have a piece of paper underneath your whatever you're coloring, so that you can actually, it will actually bleed through. You'll see underneath, you'll see all these little dots. And that's part of what the alcohol marker does. It goes through to the back side. The ink actually soaks through the paper. I'm going to take this off so you can see that. And then look how pretty that is. I love that. Now what I'm going to do is take some glue dots. I have cleaned up today, and I have messed up, and I have cleaned up, and I have messed up about 3 or 4 times. Mom, I still haven't found that stamp set. I have no idea where I put it. I used one down when I was down in Boonville at my mom's, and lo and behold, I cannot find it. I feel like I put it in a paper pack, so I haven't looked through all my paper packs yet. But I've looked in the same place about 10 times because I'm like, I think that's where it should be. But obviously it is not. So, you know, sometimes you just keep doing the same things expecting different results. And I think there's something about being a little bit of insanity. What are you guys doing today? This lovely afternoon. So I'm just putting some glue dots down around on the back of the leaves, kind of the widest part of these. And I want some in here, some up in here, some in here. You don't have to put it on every one, but just so that it holds it onto your card. I'm going to lay this down. And see how that kind of just comes in, and it makes a really pretty little frame. And now what I'm going to do is get my Thinking of You stamp out. Oh no, I'm going to do You're on My Mind. And I'm going to use Lost Lagoon. This font is really pretty. Just like that. And I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to use some dimensionals. And I want to put one on each end and one right here in the center. I'm just going to lay that on top. And then I'm going to use some of our In Color. I hope this stays in through the catalog. This is the faux linen ribbon. I think it's kind of a faux grosgrain, but I'm going to take and pull this. I want this to go in between. My advice on ribbon is always cut more than you think you're going to need, because make it easy on yourself. Okay, so then I'm going to kind of do that, leave that little loop up there, and then oops, well, that is not what I wanted to do. Well, I'm going to tie myself a little knot here. Pull this back up. And I'm going to just tie a knot bow. What happened here? There we go. See, I want it to kind of come poking out down here. A little bit poking up here. There we go. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to use my little flower centers. So these are the flower centers for these. They will actually stamp right in the center, but that's not what I use them for here. It'll be a little trickier to do this in hindsight and after I do it, but it's not impossible. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dot just like that. I'm going to take some Lost Lagoon. Shucks, got a little too aggressive. All right, so now I'm going to hold that down. I'm not too offended by that little spot right there. You could always put a dimensional or flower. Actually, let me see if I've got. This is the die that I've been putting together the other flowers for. I don't think that's going to work though. Yeah, I don't like that on there. But you could cut out some flowers. You could put something down there. Now what I'm going to do is take my Lost Lagoon. If I can find that sheet of cardstock. There's one. Okay. And now I'm just going to put it on here. Actually, I think I want to texturize this. So just hold that thought one moment. You know what? I'm not going to do that. However, I may take this Lost Lagoon and put a little stamps on it. I'm going to take some of this. Instead of texturizing it, I'm just going to add some dots around the mat in Lost Lagoon, so it'll kind of be a subtle tone on tone. Stamping is so relaxing. It's kind of cathartic. Probably why I've been doing it for 25 years. Okay. Now I'm just going to take some Stampin' Seal. Put this on the back. Oh yeah, that adds a lot. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to fix that. It's driving me crazy. Let's see, what do I have? Muted pastel dots. I think these would work. Yeah, I like that. And I think I'm just going to put one right here. And it's just like they were meant to be. And there you go. You're on my mind. Simple, stamped, little bit of fun fussy cutting, die cutting, beautiful ribbon. It actually kind of looks like the day does outside. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that. And we will be having new classes probably. That's probably one of the things Susan and I will talk about over our conference out in Long Beach. And we'll see how we put the next class together. And stay tuned. Let's see. Susan will be going live on Monday, Stamp Creatively. And then we might go live from Long Beach Wednesday or Friday. That's to be determined. We'll see how exciting it is. We may just pop things up just for kicks and giggles, just to show you what's going on. So it's always a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to it. So you guys have a great weekend, and I will, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. Make sure you share with people that you think might like it. Like to see how to make cards. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and don't forget to join our Stampin' Up! Online exclusive fan club, and that is in Facebook. So I will talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.